Hello, today we are going to speak about the full moon in Leo happening the 12th of February 2025. During a full moon, the sun and the moon are facing each other, they are in an opposition, and the moon is being well lit. During a full moon, we have full access to our inner world. This allows us to process past issues or unfinished situations, to complete unresolved cycles, and it is the climax of a situation that from then on begins to decline and be left behind. The full moon happening the 12th of February 2025 is sitting at 24 degrees of Leo. In here we can see the chart corresponding to that full moon. The first thing that caught my attention is this figure in red, which is called a T square, and it is involving the moon sitting in Leo opposed to the sun sitting in Aquarius, which makes sense because it is a full moon. Then we have Mercury in conjunction with the sun in Aquarius, and the three of them are in a square with Uranus sitting in Taurus. Then we have Mars retrograde in Cancer in a trine with Saturn sitting in Pisces. Venus sitting in Aries, in a sextile with Pluto sitting in Aquarius. Neptune in Pisces is also in a sextile with Pluto. Finally, Jupiter is in a long trine with Pluto sitting in Aquarius. Something very important about this full moon is that it is the climax of whichever situation was initiated in the new moon happening the 16th of August 2023 at 23 degrees of Leo. So we need to go back and think, remember what was happening in our lives in August 2023 to be able to understand which cycle is ending or in decline with this full moon happening. Okay? Okay, let's dive into the T square. This is a configuration in the sky which is gonna make us feeling energy drained and tied to others. The house where Uranus is sitting is very important. So we need to go and check in which area of our natal charts Taurus is sitting. If you don't know how to calculate your natal chart, or if you don't know your natal chart, I recommend you to go to my Instagram account. I just did a reel explaining how to calculate your chart using AstroSeek. So please go there and check it and follow me if you are not following already. Something which is also very important is to check in our charts 23 degrees of Scorpio, which is opposed to this 23 degrees of Taurus, is sitting, because this point is gonna work as a release of energy. So it's also extremely important to find out where 23 degrees of Scorpio is falling. Now let's speak a little bit about this Uranus. Uranus is disruptive. It is represented by the lightning bolt. It strikes to rectify a situation, to release tension. Uranus is the greater awakener, acting as an instantaneous change of awareness. Uranus is unconventional. It is a rapid jump forward into technology. Okay, let's move on to the trine between Mars retrograde sitting in Cancer with Saturn sitting in Pisces. Mars speeds things out and Saturn slows things down. Mars retrograde sitting in Cancer is in fall, and Saturn in Pisces is peregrine. Remember that the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, and Jupiter is currently sitting in Gemini, which is its position of detriment. However, the modern ruler of Saturn is sitting in Pisces, which is the sign, it is the ruler. Okay, so this situation, imagine being driving a car and then speeding and breaking, speeding and breaking. Mars is a planet of action. It wants to move, to initiate. And Saturn is constraining whatever movement Mars wants to do. However, as Mars is retrograde and in fall, it is not in, it doesn't have the strength enough to exteriorize and to act whatever energy the planet is bringing. So even this being a trine, it is, in my personal opinion, is that these two energies, they, even in a trine, they don't flow the best way. Okay, let's speak about the sextiles Venus in Aries and Neptune in Pisces are doing with Pluto in Aquarius. A sextile is an aspect of movement, organization, planning. So this might bring arranging artistic activities in groups or to benefit the collective. Also being bold and taking the lead because of that energy of Aries, being Venus sitting in Aries. Now, if we look at this chart for this full moon from the mundane astrology point of view, we might say that the sun in mundane astrology is the ruling party governing the countries or any country. The moon is the people, and Uranus is the revolution and progress. Mercury is also young people and merchants. So I am talking about these guys because the sun, the moon are involved in the full moon because as it is logic. And then Mercury is in this conjunction and Uranus is playing an important role in this T square. So this full moon might bring for the collective having the people feeling with no way out due to their governments and wanting to break free from this situation. Being young people, key in the whole scenario. Feeling also a lot of repressed anger. As you know, I like using AstroMapping to show the chart for the full moon or new moon in a way in which we can see how this energy is going to affect the different places around the world. So in here I have the lines for the moon, and in here where you see this ASC with the sign of Leo, if we kind of follow this line through all these places, this full moon is falling in the rising. This position is very, very strong, and it means that for these places, everything I just explained about the full moon is gonna have all the strength to kind of be exteriorized and represented much more than in other areas of the planet. In here we can see another very important position is the midheaven, and here we can see it is passing through all this area, and it's in here we are gonna see something happening for us guys in Australia. If I follow this line the other way or to the left, you can see how in here it says ascendant Aquarius. So it means that the rising for all this area is falling in Aquarius, which is the opposed sign for Leo. So it means that the full moon in Leo in all these areas is falling in the descendant, which is the house 7. So, house 7, remember that it is business partners or people, it's always the others. It's everything, it's also like kind of negotiation and everything we have to do with other people. So it's interesting that for this around the United States in here, the full moon is falling in the house of others. Leo, which is a sign in which the full moon is happening, is an energy of organization, leadership, command, generosity, arrogance, pleasures, luxuries, and being the center of attention. In astrology, the signs also rule parts of the body. So for Leo, it corresponds the heart, the back, brain, spinal cord, and spine. So, being this full moon the climax of something that was initiated back in August 2023, we might find that something related to our health and to these areas of our body is having the cycle is ending, or something is kind of this diminishing or declining. Okay, so keep an eye on this and just try to remember what was happening back in August 2023. This transit brings being generous with loved ones, looking to be in the spotlight because that's what Leo likes, taking the lead and organization, and maybe being a little bit arrogant. Speaking about the full moon from a psychological point of view, being the relationship house 1, house 7, because as I said at the beginning, the sun and the moon are facing each other, so it means they are in an opposition. Where the sun is sitting, which in this case is Aquarius, the culminating action will take place. Remember, I said that full moons are cycles ending, and where the moon is sitting, there will be acceptance and receptivity for such action. So, again, we need to go and check our charts and see in which area of our natal chart Aquarius is falling and where Leo is falling. I remember you guys that I did video in my IG account. It's very short, real, so you can go and check how to do your natal chart in AstroSeek. The situation ending will depend, or finalizing, closing, declining, will depend on the point of the chart where the full moon falls. This is everything I have prepared for the full moon in Leo. I hope you liked it. Just subscribe for more and follow me.